What's up, mi gente? It's Anthony Rosa, the community finance coach, aka Mr. Remedy, and you are watching another show on the Round Table Remedies. And I'm so excited. I have my homegirl Raquel Amador Rocky representing her foundation, Shespot. And I'm
Hi, guys.
so excited. First of all, Happy New Year. It's good to have you on. Please let everybody know a little bit more about you and who you are.
Well, first off, happy Merry everything because today is Lunar New Year. So again, happy New Year. Thank you for having me.
Woo!
Um, my name is Mayra Raquel Amador, but I prefer Rocky. I'm a mom of three. I have two daughters and a son who's my youngest. And I started the She Spot in Patterson Public Schools in October of 2021 when we had just gotten back to in-person learning. And the experience and the event of it all brought back a lot of memories that I guess I had suppressed. But I
Mm,
basically had a student who had a menstrual accident in school during school hours. This was her first time
mm,
in a public school in the United States of America. She was able to get a pad from the nurse, but at the time, the pads that the nurses had, I wouldn't even wear them. We don't even wear them when we give birth in the hospital because those are the kinds of pads that they provide, bulky, uncomfortable, not that great at absorbing. But
mm.
she ended up bleeding through her clothes, so it was a visible accident. I went on Facebook and I asked my community, my friends, my family, my village, if they could help me fill a filing drawer of supplies with extra sweats or leggings just in case the girls had extra pads, tampons that the girls had or used. And instead of a filing cabinet drawer, just a drawer, which is what I
Mm.
asked for initially, I ended up getting a whole corner in my office where I was able to supply sweats or leggings if the girls had accidents. We have pads of every kind, every absorbency, with wings, without wings. We have panty liners, the feminine hygiene wipes, tampons, plastic applicator, cardboard applicator. There's so many different kinds of products that we have that even as a female, my eyes were open to when I started this venture. And then having like
Wow.
working in Patterson Public Schools, dealing with attendance, it hit even closer to home for me because it's like, wait a minute, if this girl is going through this, how many more other girls are going through this? How many other girls aren't coming to school? We've even
Right.
had staff members come and get an emergency pad because it just started in the middle of class and they couldn't go to their car to get it.
Right.
So this is something that happens all across the board, whether you're white, black, Spanish, Asian, whatever, you're going to get your period. Unfortunately, one in four teens in the USA is experiencing period poverty. And that's an
Mm.
issue because
Wow, is that really the statistic? That's alarming.
it's a 2019 online national survey revealed that about 20% of teens ages 13 to 19 reported having trouble to affording these products. So if you're having trouble affording these products, you're not using these products how you're supposed to use them, meaning you're not changing them frequently enough. You're
Mm.
leaving them in too long, and if you leave them in too long, you're just opening yourself up to a whole host of health issues and not just
Right.
issues your vagina. And even though we cater to the girls for having all the menstrual products, we have deodorants, toothpaste, toothbrushes, body wash, and the boys even started coming to get products. So I have some of the male students, they use the feminine wipes to freshen up. They'll take the deodorant because they forgot or they just ran out. We have the body wash. The kids take it. It's It's kind of expensive, but it's worth it. The She Spot
Sure.
survives on all of donations and me working a part-time job. And we have the products that the girls use and that they want. We have the variety of sizes with the wings, without the wings, like I said. And it's just easier for the girls to come and get what they need. And it's you take either for the day or for the whole week, depending on my supply load and what I have in inventory. But the girls have been showing up. They're grateful. We've had talks about toxic shock syndrome, which is something that you can get from using pads. It's not just from using tampons, which is a misconception. You can get it from using pads. Sometimes
Wow.
you may not have a heavy enough flow, but you're using a heavy flow pad so that you can only have that one pad for the day instead of changing it every 2 to 3 bathroom uses, depending. And we also have to we have to teach our boys that this is something that's natural, not to be like, look at her, not to point it out, not to make her feel bad if a female has an accident. So um it's educational that we have to let people know what's going on because females bleed. We're gonna
Yeah,
bleed.
absolutely.
We're gonna bleed every month for a couple of years. So everybody you don't need to know about it, but you should know about it because these
Of
things
course.
affect
And this is not a
women.
this is like a taboo conversation.
It is. It is. Like the only thing I don't supply is Midol or painkillers because one, I can't, or razors because razors, obviously.
Of
But
course.
having conversations with the girls and just talking, like they didn't even know there was a model, and I want to say it was from either 2017 or somewhere around there, somewhere in the 2000s. But her name is Lauren Wasser, and she's
Mm.
actually a double amputee because of toxic shock syndrome. So now imagine this, a model who's making money and has the ability to afford these products isn't using them properly. And she ended up being an extremely rare case where she had to have her legs amputated. So if
No
this
way.
person,
Wow.
yeah, she has access to, you know, all the name brand, all the good stuff. And sadly, she didn't use it properly. So there's a lot of things that go behind menstruation that everybody doesn't know is, oh, she just gets cramps, she gets moody, she gets hormonal. Yeah, that's all part of it. But there's other things. We may be extra moody or extra hormonal because we don't know if we're going to be able to afford the box of tampons or if we should get the box of cereal, you know? So it's a
Yeah.
it's an unspoken burden that a lot of us, are facing right now. And it's
So
kind of
I
not
I
fair.
I appreciate you coming on, and I appreciate you being one of the panelists on our event, March 27th. Let's talk about that. We're having a conversation about Shespot and what you're doing, but you're providing free hygiene supplies to the youth. And you
Mhm.
told us what you do and why you do it. But how can people get involved? How can people stand in the gap for this conversation, both men and women?
Well, like you said, we're having an event coming up and you're reaching out to a bunch of people to help us, which is amazing. And like with the donations, I normally get monetary donations or the actual products themselves. You can mail them to me directly. I can meet you somewhere. I know you're possibly doing hubs before the event on March 27th, the Rise and Thrive. That's amazing. The panelists that are going to be there, it's like, dude, they're great. They're strong women. You've had some here before. They're doing things out in the community where people know and silently. So I'm excited. Um, yeah,
Right.
I'm excited.
I'm
And it's in
excited
Women's
too.
History Month in March. So what better than that?
Yeah, so I put it up. We're looking for hub centers to collect supplies. The event is March 27th. And where does the supplies go? How are they distributed?
I have, the plastic bins from Target, the 3 drawer ones. I have
Yeah,
multiple of those stacked on top, and then I cut out the box and I put it in each gaveta and I fill it up. And then the girls just come. They'll either take 2 or 3 for the day, or like I said, they'll take for um their whole week, for their whole cycle.
right.
The supplies are normally in the school, ready to go in my closet at home. Don't tell my husband. Taking up his shoe
Of
space.
course, no, we need space, right? We need space. We need support, and it takes a village. So this is,
Mm.
I'm hoping that it's a spark of something that we can create that's sustainable. And in the area that we're in, there's a lot of low income households. So talk to me. Do you think that a lot of your students that are needing these supplies, these hygiene supplies, do they come from low income households? What's the demographic? Is it Latino? Is it American, like white American? Is it um,
It's
Black
mixed.
American?
It's mixed. Like I said, it doesn't discriminate. We all bleed, except you guys. But In my school, it's a mix of Hispanics, a mix of blacks, a mix of Asians, the Arabics, the Muslims, the Bengalis. So they all come. Um, More Hispanic and blacks come than the others. The others come, but they're like still very timid. So I just let them know you don't even have to.
Of
You just
course.
come in, say hi, and get what you need. You don't even need to like give me an explanation just because there's still taboo around it with certain cultures. And I found out that women back in like the 50s and the 60s, when you see them wearing dresses a lot, like the young girls wearing dresses, they weren't wearing dresses to be all girly. Sometimes they were wearing their dresses because they had pads, but the pads that they had were rolled up washcloths. So it'd be big and bulky. So you can't wear pants with something big and bulky because it's like, what's that? So,
Wow. That is I love the history lesson that we're getting too. And for those that are watching right now, we want to say thank you for watching and taking a moment. We want to encourage you to be a community advocate with us, stand in the gap, help us with this initiative. Why am I doing this? Here in the Roundtable Remedies, the goal here is to inspire, connect, and educate. And me, I'm a statistic in a single parent background. My mother was Puerto Rican and Dominican. She raised three children, and it wasn't always easy. I remember in high school, I had a friend, I won't say names because we're still connected. And she came to my house and said, "Hey, Anthony, I had an accident. And can I have some of your sister's clothes?" And I never told my sister that I gave her some of those clothes, but I was there. I was like, "Yeah, absolutely." It was just so random that somebody knocked on my door, and it was my friend, and what had happened. But I never, I don't know. Maybe growing up with women in my household, it was something that it was automatic, just trying to help her. And I never teased her about it. I never talked about it in school. And I think that this is a conversation that we have to have to our young boys, our young
but
men,
growing up
on how to
Hispanic,
handle that.
our moms would tell us, "Oh, matate el chivo," or "iba a matar el chivo." So it wasn't like we actually had the true conversations in regards to it. But like you're saying, you're a cycle breaker. Look at all that you're doing in the community and for the community. So even just explaining it to the boys is enough. Like, just give her your sweater if you need to. Walk behind her and let her know. Put your book bag closer to her. Try to block the view. So it's just the simple little things that can happen. And we also have to remember with periods, every female's flow is different. There's some females that they wear panty liners the entire duration of their cycle, and that's it. And then there's other women that literally have to change their heavy flow, super long pads each time they use the bathroom because they bleed so much. So it's different. And was your period traumatizing? Yeah, yeah, it was.
Look,
My
and again, for our viewers, maybe I should have a disclosure. We're talking about, the first time you got your menstrual cycle. If you remember it, was it traumatizing? I think that it's something that is not talked about, right? We're not talking about these type of topics, but I thank you, for creating She Spot and standing in the gap, Raquel. Again, for those that are watching, we're having a woman empowerment event at Al Dila Restaurant in Rutherford. It's
March
going to be
27th.
$75 a ticket. I'm working actually, Raquel, on a sponsor that is going to pay for the entire venue so that we can open this up for free. And so
That'd
March
be
27th, we
amazing.
have six panelist speakers. I think that Dr. Melissa Barral, she actually said, Rocky is amazing. I am a proud to support and promote her. She's spotted self-sustained, and we are proud of her resilience. Absolutely. Rocky, how does that make you
She's
feel
been a
that, you
leader.
have so many people that are appreciative of what you're doing?
Um, I'm a kind of a self-depreciator. It feels good to get the acknowledgement, but I'm not doing it for the credit or the acknowledgement. I'm doing it because I have to pour into our students now. They're our future. I never want anybody to ever feel or experience bad feelings or sad feelings just because I've dealt with bad, sad feelings. It's not a good thing. So I don't want our students who already live in the inner city, who already have so many other obstacles, to deal with, to have to deal with smelling good, to worry about bleeding through, to not being comfortable. So I do it because if not me, then who? Like, there's
That's
a
true.
bunch of initiatives and foundations popping up and have been doing it longer than me, but we're all over. We're not, collectively as strong as we could be. We were all together, but we're all making a difference one by one, two girls at a time. We're just making our difference. Um, so yeah, I do it
With
because
what you said, I had put it up a little bit. I'll put it up again. Innocent bystander approach. A lot of us we're waiting for that sailboat to come and save us. We're waiting for that phone call. We're waiting for Congress to pass something. We're waiting for our councilmen to do something. And why wait? And again, Roundtable Remedies was created to inspire each other to come together and support and connect and create community advocates. So Rocky, what really drives you to continue to collect supplies and give? Why do you keep doing this?
I'm blessed. So why not bless somebody else? Paying it forward, doing what I have to do. It's the right thing to do.
It's true.
It's our future that's benefiting from this. They're coming to school, they're staying in school. Again, if not me, then who? So,
Right. And so we're at that time of the show. There's so much more to talk about, but it's no more talking. It's about action. And we're looking for hub centers to share with their friends and family, hey, there's a list of supply items. Would you like to put a box in your brick and mortar, in your place of business, collect supplies, come March 27th to deliver yourself these items so that we could stand in the gap. It's no more
and that's
waiting for
gonna help
someone to do
multiple of us.
what we can do. Yeah, multiple offices. If we can get
Mhm.
10, 15, 20 innovator hubs to start collecting all these items. We did amazing during the winter clothing drive. I think we
We
could do
did.
amazing again. So Rocky, we're rounding third base on the show, and right now is the time where we're gonna go into our final thoughts. The final thoughts is we're sending the viewers a message and a call to action. And again, thank you so much for standing in the gap and creating She Spot. I remember even on some tough times, my mom not having, certain items and us getting bailed out by Red Cross. And, I remember Kmart with layaway. If we didn't have certain things growing up, I don't even know. So what are some of your final thoughts for those that are watching?
Um, to live by that, pay it forward. If not you, then who? Um, we have to pour into our future now, whether it be a pad or a toothbrush. You don't know what that little basic hygiene product will do for a person. It may be simple and not even a thought for you, but for somebody else, it could be a saving grace. You're gonna have the hubs. We're gonna have the hubs. It's gonna benefit me. It's gonna benefit a couple of the other panelists. I do have the Amazon wish list for She Spot, and just think about the fact that we all come from a woman. At one point or another, a woman is going to bleed, and at one point or another, she's going to need a product, whether it's a pad, a wipe, or a tampon, but something to help her continue to function. The same way that our boys are smelling good with their deodorants and toothbrush and toothpastes. Basic hygiene, basic necessities, simple little things go a long, long way in certain communities that you would never think about.
And I want to say thank you. I mean, we can avoid fights, we can avoid drama in school, we can avoid teasing, we can avoid bullying, we could avoid children depression, child suicide.
Anxiety,
We
all
can
types
avoid a lot of the trauma that they're facing. So again, Raquel, thank you so much for standing the gap, for creating She Spot, for not waiting for someone else to do it. Thank you for allowing me to come a part of your journey. And we always like to close the show with a quote brought to you by the Crow, Brandon Lee. Mother is the name of God on the lips and hearts of all children. Go in
Yep.
grace, go in peace. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you soon. Get active, and get involved. Bye, everybody.
Good night. Thank you for having me.